My name is Sean Salahi, and I have analyzed Chopin's Mazurka No. 5 in B-flat major using the spectrum of fifths. Chopin's Mazurka No. 5 in B-flat major has been analyzed through many analytical methods. However, viewing this work through the lens of the spectrum of fifths explains the significance of the pitch class represented in this piece. By first analyzing this piece using a more traditional analytical method, one can argue that this piece comprises of three main sections. This piece begins in B-flat major, which I've indicated here in green, and modulates one generation to the right on the spectrum to F major, which is represented in orange at music measure 25. This section concludes at music measure 32 when the original A section is reintroduced at music measure 33. However, as in many of the other pieces I have already analyzed using the spectrum of fifths, this piece ventures to the left on the spectrum to G flat from music measures 45 through 51. What makes this section unique is that Chopin utilizes a German augmented sixth chord throughout this entire section. This piece ends with the reintroduction of the A section, which happens at music measure 53. At the top of the piece, I have included the spectrum of fifths, which represents or which indicates the pitch class for this piece. To the left of the spectrum, or the dark end of the spectrum, I have bracketed off the spectrum to the left of G flat, which is the darkest note in the piece. On the right side of the spectrum, I have bracketed off, or I have placed a bracket to the right of E natural, which is the brightest note of the piece. Let's take a listen now to the piece, and let's hear everything that I've mentioned already. Good. Now, this piece includes an E natural, or utilizes an E natural. As mentioned before, the E natural is the brightest note of this piece. Now, this E natural seems to play an important role in the overall function of this piece. E natural is first introduced at measure 6 as it is sustained over 2 counts for 2 counts over a B flat major chord, which can be seen here. I have colored this part of the piece. I have colored the E natural in this measure orange to indicate when this phenomenon happens. Again, this phenomenon happens at measure, this phenomenon happens again at measure 10, measures 18, 22, 32, and 42, before this motivic idea reaches a climax at music measure 46, where it is used within a German augmented 6 chord, which is here, which I've indicated in yellow. One can argue that Chopin is telling a story with the E natural functioning in the same way that foreshadowing would be used in a short story. What is more interesting is the context in which Chopin uses the E natural once this motivic idea climaxes at music measure 45. Here Chopin uses a German augmented 6 chord which contains the darkest notes in the spectrum or the pitch class, while at the same time showcasing the brightest note in the spectrum, the E natural. Furthermore, as one would expect, the E natural does not resolve to the F. Instead, E natural resolves down 3 half steps to D flat within the before mentioned section. As mentioned before, this piece concludes with the reintroduction of the A section, where the E natural phenomenon happens again at measure 58 and again at measure 62, which is indicated here with the color orange. Let's hear that piece again, now that I've mentioned the interesting phenomenon of the E natural, as it plays an important role in the overall function of this piece.